there was a moment where I was talking to Steve Baldwin during COVID, and I was in my basement in New Jersey, and somehow it came up, and a light bulb went off. And while I was talking to him, I was making the videos during COVID where I'd go in my yard and just kind of like give people like a little, whatever came to me that day. I put it out on Instagram. And I remember I was going, Steve, it's amazing. I owe God a lot. He does this stuff. It's like, I'll go. And it really struck me. I'm like, the one thing I asked for my whole life, and what are the odds, was please be there for my father when he passes. And no disrespect to my mother or anyone else. Please, God. I was like, please. And I would go on the road and beg God, please. If there's anything, please let me be there to hold that man. Please. I don't want to get the phone call. Please. And I mean, that went on for years. And I had that moment. And I was telling Steve, I go, I owe him. I feel like I owe him. I owe God. I owe the Creator. I go, and not only that, I feel like he's going, so what else you want? What else you want? And I went, well, I remember I said I wanted to be the best open micer. Okay, and then you were the best open micer. I remember you said you want to get on television. What are you going to tell me? I remember I said I wanted to work with, back then, De Niro and Pesci and Nicholson and blah, blah, blah. All right, well, you got to do all that. And I want to meet all my famous rock stars. Okay, well, you got to do all that. You sang with all of them. Let's see. You sang with the AC/DC guy. You sang with Rob Halford. You sang with Metallica over here. You did it. Okay. So now what? What else? What else you think is super important? Go ahead. Tell me what else you got. And I said, wow. I always thought, getting to know the Mets. Okay. Well, here's the 86 minutes. Whatever you want. So now what do you want? What do you want, Jimbo? What do you want? And what I got out of that was, damn, how can I start giving back to you without being like, you need to read this, live by that, and do this, and do it that way, and do it this way? Was just tell your stories. Be brutally honest and tell the stories, because that seemed to be resonating with more people that I say, I'm not really religious. But there's so many people in the world who go, I'm not religious, but I do feel something. Yeah, that's I don't care what anyone says. That's real. You feel something, 100%. So, yeah, Steve Baldwin was a major, major contributor to that. I'm just being dead honest. So, and during a time, I'm sure, where he was also going through a lot of incredibly tough personal things in his lifetime. And those are moments too that I don't like. Why at that moment in time is he just flowing past my life and then kind of going back over here? And those short times with him, and there's other ones which I'll talk about if we get them on here, stand out as if, I know this sounds crazy, as if Messenger came here and went, Jim, I know you're looking for wings, and I know you think you should be in a church, or I think you should, whatever it is, you never know where the message is coming. No matter what you think about a person, no matter what you think about a situation, no matter where you are in a situation, none of us know where that is going to come from. Nobody.